Hi, folks, and good evening, and welcome to our Wednesday on the Web. We've been doing it for years, and I guess we do it because it helps us sort of about halfway through the week to assess what we said, number one, and then number two, to get a plan to finish out a strong week. I think today, yesterday, and has been really big for people. I know that I had a big day today, and if I had a big day, I'm sure you had a big day. But one of the areas we'll talk about after I get through the risk disclaimer and everything else, I want to talk about the fear of taking trades and the fear of what to do when you got a trade that's costing you money. So first of all, welcome aboard, and hope everybody's here. Everybody check in for me, if you will. Type in, type in where you're signing in from. That's always a good way to look around the country and see who's all here, or even look out to Australia and Europe and all the other places that people come. There's Philip from Elton, Florida. And hey, Philip, give me a call after I finish tonight. I want to talk to you. Clearwater, Florida. What a pretty town. Hey, Doc. Hey, Frank. Frank's my buddy out in, boy, I got friends. I got Roger there from Texas, Henderson, Texas. I got Frank out in California. Barry in Illinois. Cincinnati. That's a neat name, isn't it, the way it's spelled, Cincinnati? Anyway, what I want to do tonight, I'm going to do we're going to deviate a little bit, if that's okay. This week I finished doing a April class, with people, and it was so much fun. We got a few videos to show you about that. We'll do that after, in my opinion. But Jonathan came into town, Jeff Smith came into town, and we had just a really great class. I enjoyed it. Quite fun to be with people and trade with people and make money with people. That makes it nice. Yeah, be on the YouTube. Do we have YouTube on board, Jonathan? Is YouTube on board right now?
YouTube is on board, Tom, and now as good as any if you want to go ahead and play that video from the
Yeah, let's
class.
why don't we go on and play the video? Here's some interviews that we did with a couple of people. I don't know what they said. I wasn't in around them during the interview stage, but let's just see what they said, and I'll just talk about it. John, can you stop after you play it? I can tell you to stop and talk a little bit as I go through it.
Yeah, I can stop and start it as
Okay,
as you
good.
wish.
Let's let it play.
Value of coming one-on-one with Tom is watching him set his morning routine. He reviews the stocks, picks the price target, helps you determine when the entry point is the right time, helps you set the trade, watch the trade. If it goes against you, he does what he calls making lemonade out of lemons, and teaches you tricks to get in and out at the right time, and how to establish goals.
The key thing that happens after a certain number of classes is clarity begins to emerge, and that's what my experience has been. I get more and more clear with every class what I'm supposed to be doing and how it's supposed to pay, and my expectations come into tight focus. So that's the main benefit, and I think everybody could profit from that.
Well, the value is that
Stop there, if you will. Let me talk about the first two. Well, Lorna was there at the class, and I could just tell it opened up a new door of thinking for her, because everybody makes trades, and sometimes the trades start out good. You don't have to do anything but take profit, but sometimes you have to do adjustments. And I spend a lot of time showing people how to adjust things. Now, John, this was his fourth class. I want to tell you about John. John, this is his fourth class. He's come down here. And when he was talking about things starting to gel, to give you an idea, he made $10,000 last week. He's not trading big size. And today he sent me a note. He made 2,500. John's getting better and better. Maybe not. Maybe what's so great about John is his methodical persistence on wanting to succeed. And like a lot of people, he's very discouraged. When I met him, I said, John, if you'll put the time in, I'll show you how this game works. But we spent over the last year, we worked real hard. And I think John is like that bird that goes out of the nest. He's out there. You'll hear more from John as we go forward. But just a great bunch of two guys right there that really made an impression. Keep going.
Could profit from that.
Well, the value is that you get to hear Tom directly. He can present a lot of information in a short amount of time, and you get to ask specific questions.
This is my second time I was here, and each time I get a better understanding of all the little workings of the programs.
Being able to start your day, knowing exactly what to do, knowing what to do if things don't go right, and just overall putting everything together.
Yeah, and everybody that was here, there's a lot of chemistry in the class. 3 of the people that are here have committed to come to 3 classes in the future, and my guess is they'll all get it. This game of trading, it's not an easy thing that we do as traders, but I think the face-to-face, I can teach people so much more when you have that ability to do face-to-face. And so beautiful facility there in the background. You can see, the golf carts and, where we live and where we have the class. The room is great. The food is fantastic. But I think one of the things I told people about, I said, look, we only do limited spots every year. And so because of that, by the end of Sawgrass, there won't be spots left for this year. So we only take 5 to 6 people with each class. We already got 3 people booked for July. And so anyway, just give you an idea of the landscape, why it's important. If people, I find it very interesting. There's obstacles in every trader or investor out there. And I guess having the experience to recognize those early will save you a bunch of money. And I think that's the general consensus, because that fear does grip you. I talked to a customer today, and holding on to a stock I would have got rid of. And I know a lot of people out there get stocks in their portfolio and they don't look at it, and they get worse and worse and worse. And the art of winning, you got to learn how to lose too. And I think that I've got a pretty good system for telling you that take your money and put it in something that's going to pay you rather than something that's going to lose your money. And I think that's one of the big benefits. And, one thing that surfaces for everybody here is my 72-hour rule. Pete was staying with trades real long, and because of that, he had lost some money and he wasn't making any headway. And I said, Pete, if you do one thing between now and the next class, you will, in my estimation, be a very successful trader. And he committed to come, and I think that is an important part of that. But anyway, I want to show you those videos and just sort of give you a feel for what the people said. I know it's one thing to hear it from me, but to hear it from people to actually attend, it makes a big difference. All right, risk involved in trading past performance is not indicative of future results. Former Air Force officer, I've been doing this a long time. I do recommend you get my books, and a lot of people had the books when they showed up at the class. I was able to sign them. So, but that first book it's got so much great stuff in it. The second book was way ahead of its time. Talks about the markets never sleep. Markets are trading right now. And of course, trade to win. Attitude. Now, we try to help people master the markets through their own eyes. In other words, where their assets are being used, in my estimation, at a level that lets them succeed. Okay. And I think that's important always when you're sitting there and you're trying to do stuff and you're trying to take care of things the way you do. And that education is important. I believe in it. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't had a lot of education. And thank you for Glenn for extending. I appreciate that. In my opinion, the market is at an unusual spot. Today was a tremendous day in the market. I think that sometimes it goes down to have to go up. And I think that's what's going on right now. If you look at what's going on in the market, I got to check things out. It must have been some news that came out. Who knows? That's my opinion. I hadn't had time to look at it. But after 9, I'll get serious about tonight's market. All right, Seven Sisters update. You can see the market's a lot healthier today than it was a month ago. If you look at those numbers, and this sets up quite an opportunity for you when the market starts doing what it's doing. Okay, and I think that's important. 10 tickers. If you check out this and you look at this, we're at the point that some of these tickers are getting ready to rock and roll, and we're close there. So we haven't triggered yet, but they should trigger, by tomorrow, I would think. Now, the futures education that we do here at DTI is predicated upon it's always futures first. And the classes that you come to down here are what I would call classes that give you the opportunity to, get ahead of the game, so to speak, if that makes any sense, okay? And I'm having to do a couple adjustments here real quick. That's okay, let me do that. Sometimes you just gotta do that. I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, I got that going, okay? And, okay. But futures education, I believe in. I trade all stocks through looking at the futures. Give me a second real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. The market hit a point I needed to make an adjustment, and I had to do that, okay? And now let me show you a statement that just that came into the chat room. Polly C type, and I don't want to call you out, Polly C, says the market's dropping like a rock. Polly, would you be surprised to know that we're still up for the week at this price? I don't think it's dropping like a rock. I think it's correcting during this time period. Now, if you're in my futures trading, what I tell people about 8 to 9 o'clock. Are you in there, Polly, my futures trading? What do I tell you about 8 to 9 o'clock? Don't do anything till after 9. Watch what happens after 9, okay? And y'all picked up an insight there. And So I don't make any assessment in this market until after 9 o'clock. Okay. And that's just the way it is. Now, what I've done to expand the number of people that can have this great training, I do online futures on Monday night. Now, I think that's important because every Monday night I highlight where the money is. Okay, and I do that. It's a very valuable training we do, everybody. We got quite a curriculum now after 2 years of teaching it that you can learn to trade any market on the future side through my online version. And hopefully, if you stay there, you get it. That's futures education. Now, here's my class schedule. Actually, we're down to 2 seats in July now. And then notice that we got 3 seats in September. October and December are still open, but after Sawgrass, everything will be gone. That's usually what happens every year. Now, this is where we have the training. Who has been to the training? Who's been to the training? Let me ask that. Wendy sent me a note. She's a new student. She got the roadmap software. She made $1,000 last night. She hadn't even been here, but she did contact Kelly and is going to sign up for a future class. And I talked to Kelly today, Wendy, and told her what you wanted to do. She said she'd handle it. Oh, she's coming for July. That's where that seat went. Okay. Good job, Wendy. Smart. She sent me a note last night talking about what she had learned with the roadmap. Wait till we're face to face. Any questions about these dates? Any questions about these dates? Yeah, Peg's considered taking one of those slots. That'd leave 1 slot left before we got there. Usually it's gone. But my Futures First education, let's talk it. This is online. Here's the disclaimer. I'll give you a second to read it. This is something that I've been teaching it for years. I own a brokerage firm, but I think that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're taught the right way to respect how to risk money, how to control the money you risk, and how to take advantage of the futures market, which is open 24 hours a day. I've argued for years. In my opinion, I thought the futures market was a lot less risky than the stock market. And I can show you why later on, but right now, we'll just go with that opinion. Any questions about this? Thank you. Now, my experience goes back a long time. I was thinking about this. I've been trading futures for 40 years. I've owned a brokerage firm, and I've been a member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the largest exchange in the world. And it gives you a lot of experience. And this is where I was able to get the Globex terminal you heard me talk about, which was a forerunner, okay? The forerunner to electronic trading. So I had an electronic terminal for futures way before most people knew it was out there. That was quite an experience and quite what we call the edge in a trade. This was a beautiful market. We did a little time talking about it at the class, the DAX market. I probably, as an American, I don't know anybody that's traded the DAX as many years as I did, as much as I did over the time period. This came out of the Eurex exchange. I helped a big part of the team that brought into the U.S., one of my life experiences, and I learned so much about the power of changing the attitude of retail traders with the DAX. I used to get a kick of going to these seminars, and I'd run into somebody, oh, I've been trading 25 years. And the first question I'd put it on their hind heels with, well, do you trade the DAX? And then they'd get this foggy look. A lot of people didn't even know about it in those days. We helped open it up. Former Officer Express, worked with them for years, and they eventually were acquired by Schwab. Pretty neat stuff. And here's the real edge I had as one of only 50 people outside of Chicago that had this sucker. Chuck, Jonathan, those were the days. Those were the days. But after years at the top field, I retired from futures. And I didn't trade it until I ran into, there's a doctor, not Roger out of Texas, another doctor cornered me at a seminar. And he said, hey, I work all day and I'd really like to learn futures. Everybody tells me you're the guy. And I said, whoever told you that, I think they're right, but I haven't taught it for over 5 years. It'd be a lot of work to put a curriculum together, get it modernized and all that. We started about 4 years ago. We finally formalized it, I guess, about 1.5 years ago. And because of that, we made it so easy peasy for you to really learn things you can't learn from anybody else. That happens on Monday night. Now, I probably never even talked about futures when I wasn't going to teach it, but I got very happy. When it changed, I realized a lot of you out there don't know anything about futures and probably afraid of futures, okay? But if you learn the way I teach you, everybody here can be a futures trader and safe futures trader, okay? And I think even Jonathan had his eyes open about what I was able to teach people, because it goes back and predates when Jonathan started working for me. Everything Jeff Smith knows about futures, I taught him. Chuck, all these guys, we learned together coming up, but I really think your results go up, and anything you can do to get specialized knowledge, good knowledge from people that are experienced, it's going to make you a better trader. That's why I rebuilt it, and now we got it, and it's really not so hard to deliver anymore like it was in the first year when I was delivering and finding out how the market had changed and what to teach and how to get you ready. You talk about being ready, just crude oil, we're playing it like a fiddle. People in my futures class, it's crazy market, but it's, if you understand it, you can look at the futures market and trade USO. Meet every week at Monday night. We're going to change, John, if I decide to change that time to 8 on Monday night, it works better for when we have students in and stuff like that. I think that 8 will be better for everybody. It seems like a good time to have it, because then we can transition the futures market right direct to the stock market. People can have more opportunities. Now, I've had people that didn't know a word, didn't even know how to spell the word futures, commodities and all that stuff. Now they're trading it, and I get a lot of love letters from my future student because of what I've taught them. And that's right. Education is where it's at. And if you learn what I show you on futures, you know, I'm going to go back to a comment, just show you the power of what I know that you don't. Polly at 8:04, say, the market's dropping like a rock. Y'all remember me bringing Polly up when he was saying the market was dropping like a rock? Y'all remember that? Give me a yes if you remember Polly saying that. I teach my futures people don't do any trading or analysis until after 9. Now do you see the difference? The S&P's at 7150 right now. You see the difference of having knowledge versus reading it in the book? Give me a yes if you understand the power. I got so many things I'll teach you about the market and futures. You go, you start saying, Tom knows something I don't know. to losing money, I'm making money because I know when to do my analysis. 9 o'clock at night. Bill's one of my senior students for years. I taught him futures, and he's a farmer out of Louisiana and done so well, okay? Done so well. My pivot number, who uses my pivot number every day? Give me a yes if you use my pivot number. I teach you in futures how I get it, where you don't need me to get it, you know it. And I teach you the time to get it. And it really is a nice thing. Long, short, or out, that's the question. Now, you have an account, you put $2,000 in it, over 90 days, you will sign up for the year. So they've got the trial program they're offering tonight. I think we're going to change it. Honestly, I did that for a while, Jonathan. We probably ought to not offer this much longer. But tonight we'll do it. Enough people sign up, I might do it another time, but I don't know. Too valuable, you know? I think it's so valuable to be on the right side. Monday night, that gives you time to go through some of the curriculum on the markets you care about. See, if you trade the SPY, you got to know about the E-mini. If you trade the NASDAQ or QQQ, you got to know about the NASDAQ futures. If you trade SPX or XSP, you got to know about how the E-mini futures lead to correct answers for the ETFs. Pretty simple stuff. Here's some classes that we've done. That first hour in the morning, which is RB3, I break it down using a futures market, gives you a whole different perspective. I like trading the E-mini, MS futures every night. I trade it just about every night. I'm trading it tonight after 9. Daily pivot will be important. Using options is important with the E-mini. Gold options, we got a plan in gold options. You'll love that when it gets hot again. We had like 15 trades on gold futures where we had no money up. I showed them how to leg into it and leg out. Of course, we talk about bonds. Interest rates are important. Crude oil, very important. We keep coming back to it as the price changes. Silver options, we teach that. And then using the tools that we have, MTI, intraday scanner. I have one guy, he's out of California, started with 10,000, he grew his account to $250,000. Does that get anybody's attention if I tell you about stuff like that? That impressed me when he told me. Started with 10,000, went through my training, and he's got $250,000 in his account to play with now and to grow his account. Now he's expanding to other areas, but he really dug the future side of it. And then using, of course, the 2 platforms to Tasty Trade, which I think is absolutely great. Okay, I think that's good. Now, if you want to join me for 90 days, $499, be the best $499 you spend. We have class every Monday, and every now and then I'll have a bonus class in there. So well worth your time. You'll be trading futures. We'll go through which account set up that way, how much money to put in there, all the stuff that gets you started. We always do that when we offer futures on a Monday. So that'll be our lesson this Monday to make sure you're ready to fly. So get started. Join me. 90-day membership. If you've got any questions, you can call 904-706-3532. This is futures outside our normal curriculum, specialized teaching, okay? And it really is, as Winnie just said, she paid for a $10,000 program last year, and she sent me a message. This is the real deal. I said, you're right, Wendy. Now you're going to learn the right way to do it. The right way is to do it structurally, protecting yourself at all times, and learning how to do it in conjunction with everything that we do. Any questions you can ask me now. Call 904-706-3532. It's just pretty nice, I think, to be part of it. Now's the time to ask any questions. If you're interested in the classes, and you want to come in person, that's $5,000, but it includes inside that $5,000 a whole year of futures trading. A lot of people come to the class, get that year, and then they renew the year if they don't want to come in more classes once that subscription's up, because the futures market is first and foremost something everybody here better learn, or you're going to be like jumping to the wrong conclusions, if that makes any sense. Anybody got any questions? Scott, we give you access for your subscription. Ever how long you got your subscription, you got access. And all the new stuff during the time you have the subscription. Glenn said the live classes are off the charts. He's right. But if you don't want to, come to a live class, don't sit there. Over the next 90 days, prepare for what I believe is going to be an unbelievable second half. Don't go into the second half of this year, wondering what to do. Learn futures, integrate it in there, especially if you trade stocks or options or stuff like that. Nothing's better. Yeah, go to dtitrader.com/futures. Folks, if you are in Futures Plus, I am going to type a number you can use for the micro tonight after 9 inside the trade area that I'm using. I'll share that with you. How's that for a big bonus? So I see an opportunity. Everybody understand? Get signed up, get into the Telegram channel, and I will tell you the key to tonight's market. In my opinion, of course. It's all my opinion. You think about all the trades I've done over my career and what I've been exposed to. Pretty nice. Yeah, be sure you join the Telegram channel from the welcome email you'll get once you join. David Cassidy would like a call in the morning by Kelly. Done, David. She'll get you in the morning. I don't know if Kelly's here tonight. John, will you make sure she gets up? Thanks for joining. Folks, I want to thank everybody